reaching a milestone this morning. This is his 10th speech in the Competent Communicator manual. His name is Jeff Bibler. The title of his speech is Jibran and the World's Most Dangerous Nation.
About 2 years ago, I was sitting with one of the directors of the Small Business Development Center in Oceanside. We were going over my business plan for my tutoring business. She said to me, "So who does the work on your website?" I said, "Two-Step Solutions, a small company in Pakistan, of all places." She shot me a disapproving look and said, "You know, you should really be doing business with local companies." As I tried to explain to her, I'm just trying to save money so that I can hire more local people later, she just looked back down at my business plan and ignored me. Jibran Khan is the director of Two-Step Solutions based in Karachi, Pakistan, and oversees the work on my website. We've talked numerous times via Skype and have exchanged many emails over the course of the past 5 years. He's a wonderful man who I admire very much. His country, Pakistan, was named by Newsweek magazine about 5 years ago as the world's most dangerous nation because of its very fragile civilian government and its 90 or so nuclear weapons that it controls. This government is under constant threat from the country's own military and numerous militant groups. This morning I want to share with you how I feel our country and we as individuals and communities in America are choosing to turn inward and turn away from the many opportunities, the infinite opportunities we have to interact with the wider world around us. When we turn inward and we turn to our most basic instincts, we act on fear. And we see this all the time today. For example, in the presidential race, when some presidential candidates propose that we build a fence the length of the border with Mexico and electrify it with the purpose of injuring or even killing anyone who would try to cross it. We hear it on the airwaves when commentators and politicians demonize anyone who would refuse to work with them to reach compromise on the most pressing problems facing our nation today. And I saw it teaching in classrooms in Barrio Logan many years ago when Latino students felt discriminated against by well-meaning white teachers simply because the teachers could not relate to them or had trouble relating to them. My experience with Jibran and Two-Step Solutions has shown me that there's another way, a way to open up to our world. And it's my hope that you will take some of this inspiration and reach out and embrace those opportunities with the wider world. 5 years ago, when I turned my back on the teaching world and decided to start my business, I had very little money as a former teacher. I had to do it on the cheap. And so I went to the website elance.com, which is like a matchmaking website for entrepreneurs and businesses in this country and any other country to find companies in other countries that can do the work remotely. For example, website creation, website maintenance, even payroll services. I put a proposal out to about 10 companies that I saw listed that looked like they did excellent work, that had very good reviews. Jibran and his team of Two-Step Solutions was one such company. They came back with a bid that I thought was reasonable and fair. So I called Jibran by Skype, and I was very impressed by his professionalism, his understanding of my needs for this website, and my vision for my business. We talked about the political turmoil in his country, the political turmoil in mine, and we made a very nice connection. I decided to give Jibran and his team a chance. I also decided to give his country of Pakistan a chance. A country that has been teetering on the edge of disaster for decades, whether through famine, extreme poverty, corruption at every level of government, war 3 times with India in the past 50 years. And today the situation is as bad as it's ever been in that country. My thinking was that if I were to work with this company, they could provide me with a very good user-friendly website. And I would be able to save a lot of money that I would have to spend with an American company and have to spend so much more money doing so. I could take that money and put it to marketing and create my business more quickly, thereby hiring more local tutors more quickly, even hiring support staff from our company more quickly. And these are jobs that cannot be outsourced. These are local people who I would be helping. Jibran and his team receive an American client who is able to pay them much more than a Pakistani startup company. My reviews that I post on Elance, which have been glowing by the way, encourage other foreign companies to work with Jibran and his team. He is able to hire local people in Pakistan to grow his business. He lives in Karachi, Pakistan, a teeming city of 18 million people, where there has been a spate of violence the last 3 years of targeted killings. Hundreds, even thousands of people have been targeted and killed by militias and gangs in Jibran's home city. These gangs and militias are made up of unemployed young men, the very people that Jibran can hire. Companies like mine seeking to do business in countries like Pakistan is truly the best foreign assistance program and anti-terrorism program that we can offer these countries. It costs a fraction of what our country gives to Pakistan in the form of military aid every year. It creates a climate of trust and support between our 2 countries that is sorely lacking today. And it gives economic opportunity to hundreds and hopefully thousands of poor Pakistanis. And with that economic opportunity, they're dissuaded from joining the ranks of the many militant groups in that country. And these kinds of business-to-business contacts, people-to-people contacts, are already taking root in that area of the world. Relations between China and Taiwan, 2 longtime rivals, have improved dramatically since those 2 countries opened up their economies to one another. Relations between India and Pakistan, also 2 longtime rivals, have improved since they've eased travel and trade restrictions between those 2 countries. Pakistani businessmen, Indian businessmen are now doing cross-border business together. There's more travel between the 2 countries. There's more understanding. There's more working together. There's more harmony. The people of these countries are starting to get it. Eventually their governments will start to get it. It's this kind of fearless embrace of the opportunities around us in the wider world that can lead to understanding, trust. Understanding and trust lead to economic opportunity, business opportunities between peoples and between nations. We as a country can either turn inward and base our policies and our interactions with others out of fear of the unknown and who and what is different, or we can reach outward. We can adopt an immigration policy that welcomes hardworking and bright people from all over the world. Or we can turn our country into a fortress and build those fences. On a personal level, we can choose to work with people, embrace people and countries and communities that are somehow different from us in some way. My work with Jibran and his team in Pakistan have shown me just how fulfilling, life-giving, prosperous, and yes, fun working with them and making such choices can be. And I see many of you. Christian, he's in Arizona right now, teaching people from many different countries how to breathe. Haley's working with the homeless youth in downtown San Diego on a daily basis. Patricia Prom just returned from Madagascar, where she was playing with the children and monkeys there. I encourage all of you to embrace those opportunities, those people. And as the poet Maya Angelou said, you will find that we are much more alike than we are unalike. And in that discovery, you will find great joy, supreme joy, and promise for a more hopeful and prosperous and peaceful world.